All right, GM, welcome to what I am calling the Breakpoint series at Wormhole. I'll work on that name, Robinson. I'm sorry.
It's in production.
It's in production. It's in production. I did call Mike. I did call Said the king of NTT in our last one. I think he liked that one.
Yeah,
I'll probably have to get something for you.
Yeah.
And how's Breakpoint been for you?
Yeah, it's been good, man. This is my fourth Breakpoint. The first one was when my daughter was born, and it was in Lisbon, and it was so inconvenient because I live in Porto, so I couldn't go. But yeah, it's been a really good one. I think every year it gets better. The production quality is really good, really high. Projects are always high. It feels like family. It's great to see all the same faces, and then you start to see other people from different ecosystems that kind of come in, and it's just an unbeatable force at this point. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
And you also spoke at the Etihad Arena. How was that?
Yeah, it was amazing. So we unveiled the Pyth Reserve.
Yeah.
You guys unveiled the Wormhole Reserve not that long ago. So similar ethos here, right? Like I think that we're all both mature projects now where we've found the product market fit. We found a lot of users. We found what people want, where there's elasticity with where people can pay for things, and we've kind of leaned into that a bit. So we're able to announce this. So we've got revenues going from Pyth Pro directly into the protocols, buying back the Pyth tokens and holding them in the reserve. It was cool. We also had an activation, which has been very silly. So we
Pierre with the Pepito cauliflower meme is all over my time. I don't think it's silly at all. I think it's one of the most innovative campaigns anyone's done.
Yeah, I think I love it actually. It's one of those irreverent things where it really does very quickly let people realize that if you have bad prices, like you're going to get a bad outcome. Because with market data, it's not like the most obvious thing, and there's this huge paradox. On the one hand, if you tell somebody who's like within like the retail side of things that you're in market data, like why do I need that? Like that's TradingView covers it all. And if you tell someone from Jane Street or Morgan Stanley that you're in market data, like, oh, it's impossible to crack, you'll never break in. And so the reason why that gap exists is because of quality. And we're able to articulate that pretty quickly through like this cauliflower, both the video and then this activation. So I'll tell you how the activation works. So basically people come in and they bid on prices for cauliflowers. And then all the prices come in and we run it through this aggregation formula, not dissimilar to the way that Pyth creates these aggregate prices for literally everything. Not yet cauliflower on the Pyth network yet. And then, the winner of it.
Soon?
Yeah, soon, coming soon, trademark. So, and so you have this aggregate that's the winner and people kind of get it, right? I think that sense of irreverence is something you can do as a mature product. Like now that people can understand, okay, here's how the cash flows work. Here's how it all flows. Everything now becomes really crystal clear. We're in a scaling business. So yeah, I loved the activation. It was a serious talk, but we were able to lighten things up at that.
Yeah, the biggest problem for me at the activation was I didn't know where we were pricing the cauliflower, so I put in an Indian rate and I instantly lost it.
Constructive feedback already. I love it.
But yeah, Mike, sort of deeping dive, going deeper into both Wormhole and Pyth being mature projects. Robinson, I want to start this off with you. What's your earliest memory of working with the Pyth team or meeting Mike, or like what's like the first thing you remember?
It was definitely back when we were still at Jump, of course. I think there was a really unique opportunity back then where in Pyth and Wormhole are very much so in this position where we're like day one partners for a lot of blockchains. Like we've seen so many different blockchains launch. We know what issues they have, what to help them do so that they're more successful. You need a bridge for liquidity and you need to be able to price things on the blockchain. And so when we were, at Jump, that was probably, again, my first kind of interaction or experience. When we would work with these blockchains and launch them day one, it was really great because we were able to kind of work together to provide these various blockchains, whether it was like Aptos or Sui at the time, and like make sure that they had all the infrastructure they needed to kind of be day one and be successful day one. When you think about what's needed, it's literally like, of course you need a blockchain, you need assets, which we help give you, and then you need to be able to price those. So it's like, it was very much so this, I would say, good experience being able to get them what they needed. So that was probably the beginning and first interaction, and it's been a good partnership ever since.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, when we saw like the opportunity for the Oracle space, like we realized that there was two broken problems, right? Obviously the attestation part of the Oracle side, and the other part was just the data sourcing. the data sourcing story only became exciting this year. We solved this like 4 years too early. But basically no one was able to or wanted to use NASDAQ prices on blockchains or like NYSE prices on blockchains just because of the regulatory landscape was so uncertain. This year they all do, right? Like, and so like, and we're kind of the only place that they can get it from. And we're really excited for that moat to finally be like kind of paying off. But when we first were like thinking about how do you do this and where do you do this? Like first one was, okay, we got to do it on the fastest blockchain. Fastest blockchain at the time was Solana. And then we're like, well, we can't be an island. We want to be just the Solana Oracle. So we need a bridge, and Wormhole was the partner. And, you know, they've been design partners ever since. And, you know, we've stood on their shoulders for delivering messages to now over, I think we're on, 120 blockchains.
Yeah.
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 And I think sorry to interrupt, but I think at the time in Solana, you guys were what, like you secured like 90% of the TVL.
Oh,
so it was like, yeah, it was like there was insane product market fit and just
everything.
Yeah,
No, it's been, that has been our home, and we continue to defend that.
I was gonna ask, is there like a favorite Solana moment for you? Like back, so I asked Saeed the same question, and I'll ask Robinson in a minute. But Saeed's favorite moment with the Solana ecosystem was when at ETH Denver, Tolly presented Wormhole. That was his favorite moment. Yeah, it was like 5 years ago, essentially, or 4 years ago. What's your favorite moment?
My favorite Solana moment, I think it's still probably like the very earliest online hackathon in 2020 when Pyth was not in development, or was just in development, wasn't live yet. Actually, it was 2021, sorry. And it was about March. We had a couple projects like Drift, but they were named, I think, Moe or Champagne at the time. There was Synthetify from Norbert, who's now got Nightly Wallet, and a couple of other people who've like stuck around, and then a bunch of other people who have gone away. But that was pretty cool because it was coming off the heels of COVID and everyone was remote first. And so it was before, I think, the big hacker houses started. I think that was the nexus of why like we started to see those arise. So that was cool because, you know, I didn't have a background like you that had like a product generic or focused like consumer background. It was just in finance. So dealing with clients from this perspective was a little bit more unusual. We were like used to trading with them and providing with them with like, you know, great prices or something. But this was like, we're now core to your infrastructure. And so getting through that was pretty exciting because we had a whole bunch of like high frequency trading engineers on a call with a couple kids who were like building this stuff and learning so much. Like, and that was a great thing. It was like super collaborative. So that was cool. And then seeing that grow. So like we went into production in September, and like there's that moment where like I think we've got like, you know, we had all those people from that hackathon. I think they want it. And then we started to see it scale, and like, oh, okay, thank God. Like, and then we certainly have had. We still, to this day, have like a huge percentage of market share, either in the volumes or the collateral TVL or TV, total volume traded. But you know, it's just been super lucky to be able to continue to grow with it.
And in hindsight, a lot of people think like, oh yeah, of course, like I would have made a bet on Solana 5 years ago. Like, you know, it's Solana. It's like arguably one of the most popular and used blockchains today. But back then it was a huge bet for both Pyth, for both Wormhole to like go really all in on this ecosystem. And I think for us, one thing I'm proud of, the first Solana hackathon was the Wormhole Solana hackathon. That's right. So there's that namesake there, which is really cool. And I think a period of time within Solana that you kind of forget about is that at one point NFTs were a thing. They were a thing on Solana. Like we're obviously close with the backpack guys over there in Armani, and they launched Mad Lads, and that was just like a really fun period of time for Solana because it had maybe like a year after it came off the $8. Like a lot of people that bet on Solana were proven right, and so you kind of had this like, it was when felt like the early days when blockchains are fun, and I really enjoyed that. Obviously, the Mad Lads are a big part of the Wormhole community as well, and maybe one day there will be a resurgence, but that remains to be seen.
Well, there will be. Yeah, no, you know what happened with me, Mike, the other day on the topic of backpack. You know, I have to crack this joke. So there was this dude. He was wearing an Armani Exchange T-shirt. Okay, and this other dude came up to him and was like, "What exchange is that?" And it was just like hilarious. I wanted to jump in and say that's the Armani Exchange, the backpack exchange.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was a
Mike,
big Breakpoint joke.
Yeah,
I
that
think,
was
in Lisbon.
yeah,
In Lisbon in
yeah,
23 or 24 actually.
yeah. But Mike, start me off. Okay, so Solana obviously home. When did wormhole technology become really important? Like when did the scaling story start for Pyth?
22. So that's when we started scaling. The first problem we had, I mean, we plugged into Wormhole initially, but it took us a while to get it correct. And we wouldn't have been taken seriously anyway, because if you guys remember, from 21 to 22 is when Solana had the performance degrading.
All hands on deck. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you think about the TPS as well. Like, I remember when TPS hit 200, like Solana would crack, and we were like 70% of the TPS at the time, and so it was wild to see that whole evolution. Now, obviously, Solana can handle a whole lot more, but yeah. So it was the next summer, and we connected to Wormhole, and that was when we started pivoting away from putting everything on Solana mainnet and built PythNet. And so we actually, I think, really started. I don't think we ever did bridging from our prices that were aggregating on Solana mainnet. It was all from PythNet. So we did PythNet and Wormhole, and then we started the rapid expansion. And then like the next year was like every 2 weeks was a new blockchain. That was really cool.
And that helped you guys as a business too, right? Because you could provide a price feed technically faster than maybe the competition. You could be on the chain faster and provide
Huge. Yeah. I mean, it was a huge advantage for us. We were able to then like just do this like land grab on every other chain, because obviously like the predominant oracle on ETH was always Chainlink, and then we were the predominant oracle on Solana, and then we were like, we'll get everything else, and so we ended up being really successful in that, and I think that we still have this paradigm where that's kind of how it looks today. Like Chainlink still is the predominant oracle for ETH. I think we're the prominent for everything else.
Robinson, do you know how much of wormhole messaging is actually Pyth?
I mean, it's significant. I mean, I can probably give some like ballpark estimates. I would probably say around like 85% or something like that. And the rest is probably token transfers. So it's a significant amount.
How close are you two? So I'll give some context. Whenever we're at a conference, like me and Nidhi or our team, we hang out. Me and Pepito hang out. Me and Mark hang out. How close are you guys?
Well, we're going surfing tomorrow.
We are.
Yeah.
So
who's the better surfer?
We'll find out. We haven't searched yet.
Okay.
It's funny. We both lived in Portugal. We were in different cities, and we thought we'd be able to hang out and surf all the time. But both ended up being on conferences or traveling a lot. So it's fun. Like, this is the thing about like conferences.
We'll probably have to get a camera crew there as well. Yeah, that's the video they want to see.
The drone crew.
That's the video they want to see.
I agree. It's a fun thing about conferences, though, especially Breakpoint. It's kind of like a reunion for a lot of us. Like with Wormhole and Pyth, what's unique is you get to like a lot of people at Breakpoint are like Solana maxis, right? You have like apps built in Solana. They only know Solana. They only get to focus on Solana. We get to go to a lot of conferences, like ETH conferences, maybe SUI conferences, et cetera. That's great, but there's nothing like, I think, coming back to Breakpoint in a Solana conference, because you see all these people you've been working with for so long, including Mike.
Yeah, I would say like the Wormhole Pyth relationship to me feels like Pyth is an extended family of the Wormhole team, and then Solana just feels like the entire
Actually, we actually have a chat. We have a Telegram chat called Pythhole.
It was like 2 a.m. for me. I was trying to get an AMA with Pepito organized, and I was added to a chat called Pythhole, and I was like, what?
You do work early out, or have to work early in the mornings.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike, one thing that's awesome this year, obviously the Pyth team has made a lot of advancements. The U.S. Department of Commerce won.
Yeah.
I thought that was a huge win. Everyone at the foundation labs team, everyone was really, really happy about that. One thing that I do want to catch you on camera saying, so Robinson did this podcast about 6-7 months ago. He's wearing a suit in front of Capitol Hill, and he promised to do an OOTD video if the clip got 300 likes. It did, but he never did it. Did you do it?
His is 30,000 likes. You just gotta up the number. You just gotta up the number. Hey, I could still do it. I could still do it at some point. It's just there was no time limit. You gotta negotiate a time limit too.
That's true. That was on me.
Yeah, I mean the Department of Commerce thing was super cool. Being in DC this year, I learned a lot. Like, you don't know how to basically talk to like that whole segment of government. Like it's like at first it feels like you're sitting down at a poker table and like you've never played the game before because you're kind of going in very green. But if you find some good guides, like you can kind of navigate how the area works. And what I've kind of realized is like people genuinely want to do good stuff, right? Like so, like the ethos now from the government, whether it's the SEC or the Department of Commerce, is like, hey, let's simplify things and let's use the best technology available. And we know that like there's stuff that we can do within crypto or blockchains like that's going to make things better. We're not shy. I don't think they're like trying to shove like blockchains down anyone's throat. Like that there is some perception of that. I don't think that's the case. That hasn't been my experience. It's more like, great, we can go and do this and it's going to be in a streamlined way and will enable some innovation. Do it. That's what's really refreshing about it because there's a lot of stuff that could be reformed, right? Like, and so I think the data distribution for commerce, for jobs, that kind of stuff, like that'll continue to scale. And then we've got some really exciting stuff that we're working on with the SEC because they've got some gaps within their current
Spoilers?
their current paradigm. No, I won't give any too many hints now, but yeah, I think obviously Chair Atkins is like super excited about what we can do. I know you've been working with them and talking to them as well, but yeah, I think that they're open and they're ready for reform, and they know that if they don't do it, that some other country's going to do it. So that's what's great about it.
Yeah, I think similar to our team, the Pyth team is also diverse in a way that you do the institutional stuff, you do the policymaker stuff, but then you also do the DeFi stuff really well. Like I thought the Koshi announcement this year was awesome as well.
Yeah, that was cool.
How did that come about? What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, their team has been, and today at Breakpoint, they obviously just announced like a big partnership with Phantom. They've been trying to figure out the best ways to get into like DeFi, and we talked to them for a while and like described how like we could help them out, and like getting their odds out there to allow people to go build stuff on was like the first step in. So that was really cool. We'll continue to do more stuff on that front. But yeah, I mean, it sort of feels like we're getting this big merge of worlds now, right? We're getting merge of like the fintech side. We're getting the institutions kind of coming on. We're seeing what the clear business models are. So on the one hand, we lost some of that like excitement around that anything could be here. It could be pets.com. Like we're through that, but we're much more in the like it's Amazon in 2006. Like, well, in 10 years, this could be. And so like I know exactly how it would work. Like they'll have to continue to ship and execute. So I think that's where we are today. And I think we'll just keep seeing more of these types of announcements, whether it's like more big banks that are joining in on either network or big institutions and consuming data, issuing tokens, asset managers, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about crypto right now is that I think there's still a case to be made that sure, you can have SocialFi someday, you can have GameFi, all this stuff can settle to a blockchain, but we've kind of narrowed in on what the PMF is right now, and it's largely an upgraded financial system. You can provide 24/7 settlement, cross-border transfers, just 24/7 markets, and that is we're seeing that in real time. Like everything's focused on finance. I think that's a good place to be. We don't need to focus on everything else quite yet. Like maybe social will be on a blockchain, maybe it won't. But I think it's important that we're kind of like, we've come to terms with, okay, what are blockchains good for right now?
Yeah. I think this has been awesome. Mike, thank you always for the time. And Robinson, final question for both of you. What does the Wormhole Pyth relationship look like next year or in the next 5 years?
I mean, I think we just continue to scale. It's certainly something that is going to have more institutional partners. The longer you've been doing this, the more trust that you amass. And I think that we've both, in our respective kind of parts of infrastructure, have amassed a tremendous amount of trust. And I think that that's what the institutions are going to come to rely on. So yeah, I think it just keeps getting stronger. And I think we'll both continue to branch out and do more things, but still doing more stuff together.
Yep, couldn't have said it better myself.
Are there any moonshot projects on the horizon?
I can't tell you yet.
you know what we've teased. If you you got to watch the other segments because we teased some stuff, but I'll leave it at that.
All right. That's it. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for the time.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.